through with the previous videos, it will be very easy for you to understand. Now we are going to discuss the count functions. Just have a look. When I used to work earlier, I used to count in a very easy manner. I hope that this is the way you are currently using. If I want to count the number of entries over here, I used to just click on this. I'll press Ctrl Shift down arrow and I can see that in total I have 26 entries in this status bar. But if I want this number somewhere in a cell, I cannot write 26 like this because you know the consequences. If somebody add an entry or delete a transaction, this 26 will remain a static number, which is not correct. So that is why I want you to do one thing. Do the count of these transactions using a formula. I want you to pause this video and do it. If you have already tried it, you may be getting an answer as 0 or maybe 24. Reason being because you are using count function. Count function will only count numbers, not text. If you use count function and count these amounts, it has two blanks. It will give you 24 as an answer in place of 26. So that is why we cannot use count function in this scenario. We have to go with count A. A count A formula will count numbers as well as text. Just have a look. Equals to count A, and it says value 1 comma value 2 comma value 3 and so on. It's just like a sum formula. So in this case I can go with a column which does not contain any blank cells like this, or maybe column C or D. That's my wish. So I'll click on this. I'll press Ctrl Shift down arrow to select till the end. I'll close down the bracket and I press enter. There we go. We have 26, which is a correct answer. The next one is we need to count the total number of blank entries in this complete database. You can see that these are the 2 blank entries in total. We need to count it. We can actually use count if, but we already have a formula which is count blank. So equals to count blank. It says range. Now there are 2 ways to do it. Either I can just select the complete column where I can see the blank cells, or if I do not know that where we have the blank cells, I can actually select this complete table also. If I'll select it like this, I'll close down the bracket. It will tell me completely how many blank cells are there in that B6 to E31, the complete table. Now the next one is total number of new type. We need to count the total number of new type. Type is basically the type of the customers in the data. Here we have the new as well as existing. It could be anything like this in your work also. For example, if your company is manufacturing 10 products and you need to find out that how many times a product it's been sold in the sales data like this. So you can find out that also. So we need the count on the basis of a condition, and the condition will be new. That is why we are going to use count if. Equals to count if range comma criteria. Just concentrate on this. It's very simple. It just look like sum if but without a sum range. In this case, both the arguments are mandatory, and right now we are standing on range and the criteria is the condition. So where is that condition? In which range? So range is this type 1. I'll press Ctrl Shift down arrow, comma criteria is new. So I can write double quotes, new double quotes, or I can either select a cell also. If I'll close down the bracket here and if I press enter, see this. In total we have 20 new customers that we served as per the data. The next question is amount. How many times? We need to count the amount which is more than 100 and less than equal to 200 is similar to the amount of sales that has done. How many times the sales is more than 1 lakh and less than 5 lakhs. So we can see that how many times it is happening. The same thing we are looking for over here. So we are going to use count IFS because in total we have two conditions. Although the range will remain same, but the condition are two. Greater than 100 and less than equal to 200. So we are going to use equals to count ifs criteria range 1 comma criteria 1 comma criteria range 2 comma criteria 2, like this. So range will be the amount one for sure because we are talking about the amount. So this will be the range, comma criteria. The first criteria is greater than 100. So it will be double quotes greater than 100. We'll put it in double quotes again. As we have discussed, it has one symbol which is greater than. That's why we are using double quotes. If we would have been only 100 as a number with us, double quotes would have not been required in that case. Comma criteria range 2. Again, the second criteria is on the same range. That is why we are going to select this range again like this. Comma criteria this time is different, which is double quotes less than equal to 200 and double quotes. Here we'll close down the bracket and we'll press enter. There we go. It is happening 4 times in this range when the amount is greater than 100 and less than equals to 200. Now the last question is January sales for Brooks that exceeds 1000. So in total we have January, Brooks and amount that exceeds 1000. So it means we have in total 3 criteria to count on. So we are going to use equals to count ifs. We have multiple criteria. So the first criteria we can take is for January. But what is the range for the January? It will be months. So we'll select this range, comma criteria will be January. So let me select a cell here which contains January, comma criteria range 2 is for Brooks. The range for the Brooks is this sales reps range. So we'll select it, comma criteria 2 will be Brooks. So let me select a cell that contains the word Brooks, comma criteria range 3, and that is for amount exceeds 1000. So let me select the range of amount, comma exceeds 1000, that is double quotes greater than 1000, double quotes. So we'll close down the bracket and we'll press enter. So in total this is happening for 2 times. So now just open the next video and simultaneously the next workbook to do the exercise on this part.